Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Life After Paralysis. We are joined today by Beth Beckley from Atlanta, Georgia. Hello, Beth.
Hi.
Welcome. Thank you for coming on my little podcast. How's it going over there in Atlanta right now?
It's really, really hot. And thank you so much for even asking me on this. This is super exciting. I'm always wanting to meet more people like me and get my story out as well. Because Life After Paralysis is a journey, as you know yourself. So
Lord of mercy, it is. And I know you've been doing it, for 13 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. And has it gone by quickly for you, or does it seem like it's been forever?
I mean, like once I got with my husband, I've been paralyzed for 3 years. And when I met my husband, it just has flown by. I'm like, wow, a whole decade's already been by with him and I. And 13 years, like, I can't believe it. So
that's crazy. Well, let's go back to the beginning, if you don't mind. Whenever I interview someone with a spinal cord injury, I always like to kind of start with their injury story. We don't have to go into the gory details if it's too sensitive, but if you could kind of just take us with you on what happened 13 years ago. I know you were in a car accident, right?
Yeah. I was actually I was a typical girl, 21-year-old girl. Obsessed with my boyfriend at the time. And so I haven't seen friends in forever. So we just decided to go. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay.
And we have where I'm from is a town right below Tallahassee. And we have a lot of beaches there, like the Gulf of Mexico is there. So, it's my hometown. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll meet you guys at the beach. And we hung out there and we were going to leave because it looked like it was going to start raining. And I don't remember anything from that. After that. Yeah. A month later, I woke up in the hospital and my parents were like, you're going to be paralyzed forever. This is what happened. My friend that was actually in the car with me, my passenger, she died. She hit the tree on my passenger side because that's how my car hydroplaned. I went off and I guess veered off the side of the road and I hit a tree and that side hit hers.
Wow. That's scary. So it was just you and your one friend in the car then, huh?
It was, yeah. And I crushed my spinal cord at my chest level T4 and at C7 or a halo for 3 months. That was terrible.
Wow. So you were 21 and man, so I guess since you were already in Atlanta, they put you through the Shepherd Center then?
No, because I'm actually I didn't come to Atlanta until I met my husband. This is where he's from. So I actually am from Tallahassee. And so everything happened there. And I didn't have insurance. I was working as a receptionist at a doctor's office and my insurance, I was on probation for 90 days. My insurance would have started the following week and I got in my car accident. And so I had no health insurance at all. And because I had Medicaid, since I was able to get on that for my disability, Shepherd Center didn't approve me to come. So I didn't learn a lot about my spinal cord injury until I got married and moved to Atlanta. And
wow, that's crazy. So are you telling me, Beth, you had to pay for everything, or did Medicaid pay for it after when you got injured? It's so expensive.
Oh yeah, I had a church actually heard about my car accident and they came and they paid for my back surgery and all that before I got. Yeah, it was incredible. I'm very blessed.
That's great. Wow.
Once Medicaid came on, I was able to get those things paid for, but I still only got 80% paid for.
That's not. It's still 20%. It's a lot. Still, you're not
able to help, thankfully. But I'm really, really blessed as far as being able to get that covered.
Okay. So you didn't where did you do your rehab when you first were injured?
We live in Tallahassee's tiny. We've got a small hospital and they definitely don't have specialties. They don't know anything about spinal cord injury. So I went from the local Tallahassee Memorial and I was in ICU there for 2 months. Then I had to go to a nursing home for a month because I had my halo on and they're like, we can't take her in inpatient therapy here in Tallahassee with a halo on. And if you go home, insurance won't cover you to go to an inpatient facility. All the freaking logistics when it comes to they want to deny you for everything. So
that sounds terrible. I bet you were super depressed and just sad when you had to go through all that crap in the beginning, huh? That does not help.
Terrible. I was just like, wow, man. Well, at first off was I'm never putting I'm paralyzed. And I'm like, I will wipe my parents' tinies if I have to, because they're never it was a horrible experience. I've heard much worse. At least I didn't get pressure sores like some people do because you're just neglected in these places.
You got lucky. You got real lucky. That's good. Wow.
Well, I worked for a doctor, so he was able to get me a private room, and my family never left me. They're like, all right, well, we're gonna stay by your side. But I went to like a little inpatient rehab here in Tallahassee, and the girl had just graduated from FSU with her master's, and no one knew anything about paraplegics. Like, yeah, they were like, well, we're both going to learn about spinal cord injuries together.
Are you kidding me? Oh, wow.
I was just like, what in the world? This is going to, because everybody that was there was like 85 and they had strokes. That's all the people. I was the youngest. I was a baby compared to rehab. So yeah, once I came to Shepherd Center, I was like, oh my gosh, like look at all the possibilities. Like you guys have so much. And look at everybody in chairs and they're young like me.
Yeah, I've not been to Shepherd, but I've done a lot of articles about Shepherd and I know the history behind it and how amazing it is. And I wish I had gone to a place like that when I was injured, because my story was kind of like yours. I went to a crappy little county hospital and they didn't know what to do with me. So, but so that's cool. So when did you go to Shepherd? When you moved to like a couple years later after your injury then?
Yeah, because I met my husband in 2011 and then we got married in 2013. We've moved all over because my parents are in South Carolina and then I'm from Tallahassee. So we moved to Florida, to South Carolina, and then my husband's in TV. So his job network was closing down when we lived in Orlando. So we're like, let's see what CNN and everybody in Atlanta has to come back home. And so in 2015, we moved back here. And
that's great.
Yeah, so I've had a good 5 or 6 years of being able to access Shepherd Center, which has been wonderful for therapy. And
how does one go about that? Because you're obviously not an inpatient. Do you ask your doctor just for like a therapy kind of prescription and say, hey, I need this. I never got this 3 years ago. Can you please send me here? Is that how you did it? Or is this some people want to?
Well, actually, insurance will cover a certain amount of visits a year. So I can go to therapy for as long as I want to, no matter how long I'm paralyzed. Yeah, and it's great because they have so much more equipment than any of us can afford at home, that moves your legs and
really?
And yeah, they've got, I think they have like a gym membership that's like $33 a month. If I could get there more often, I would do this 100 because they've got standing frames and ellipticals, like all sort, like everything, and at your access as long as you go from like the hours they're open or whatever. So
are you kidding? Is it free then if your doctor sends you there?
Only the physical therapy, like to one-on-one with a physical therapist. The gym part is like a membership that you got, like a wellness membership that you get. But it's like I said, it's worth it because you get access to so much that you would never be able to afford to have at home,
I love all those machines, the arm bikes, and do they have FES there too if you want to get hooked up to that?
They do. I want to try that so bad because I'm like, my spasms, I don't know how you deal with spasms, but mine are like ridiculous. So I'm like, anytime I can move my legs, I'm like, please. That'd be great.
That's awesome. And now how about the pool? Is the pool part of the membership? Can you go in the pool there?
Yeah, absolutely. And they'll have somebody assist you because I think they've got a physical therapist that's just there all the time.
So cool.
And they've got pool lifts, and it's like they've got their inpatient side that nobody really sees. But then they've got the first part of the hospital, and that's part of just like all the recreations and all the stuff that they've got. And then they've got activities, they've got bikes, so that way you can go biking outside. They've got basketball teams, soccer teams, and they do lots of, like, they're just so big that it gives you a lot of opportunity right here in this big city, even remotely around. So yeah, it's a good opportunity for those of us in chairs. So
well, that's awesome. I always thought for myself, like if I wanted to go back to physical therapy, I'd have to go to my doctor, and they'd be like, well, Tiffany's been paralyzed for 20 years, but she kind of needs some help with her left arm, so we'll send her. But are you saying you get like a default amount of hours each year, no matter what happens? How come I don't know about this?
I know, that's crazy. And I was on my husband's insurance last year because, Medicare and Medicaid is like, you're not medically necessary. Nothing's medically necessary for your life. We're not going to get $1. And so I got Blue Cross Blue Shield to actually cover this standing chair. But now, and that was last year. So I was like, all right, that cost us like $5,000 in deductibles. So we went back to, and I'm on just like, I have a health agent. I just found like a health insurance agent, and he got me on, all my insurance is free. Like I've got United Healthcare, I've got my Medicare. I've got like Medicaid that pays my premium, but they don't cover anything else. But I'll take you know, anything like that, you know. And those, like, yeah, it covers all of my stuff and a certain amount of visits at the Comfort Center every year.
Do you know how many visits you get per year?
I think it's like 12.
That's so cool. All right. Well, this is good that you're talking about that, because anyone out there listening, this is helpful information, because I always thought once your outpatient was over, they're like, bye, good luck with your life.
I'm really grateful for that, because you still are, oh my gosh, you're learning so much more. And once you get home, like, yeah, your spasms start to go out, like, and you're just learning how to cath and how to move.
Well,
like,
Plus things happen. Like, I've been hurt for a while, and I can tell that my legs aren't doing that great. And sometimes it's good to go back in and have them check you out, right?
Absolutely.
So that's so cool. So you keep talking about your husband, and I kind of just want to ask you guys how you met, because I think, you know, people with paralysis, they always struggle with dating, and at least some people do, or they think it's not possible, and they're all depressed about it. And I always like a good love story. So if you don't mind just sharing how y'all met, that would be super cool.
We're the typical, like, millennials that met online. So I went on eHarmony, and because I moved, like I said, from Tallahassee, and I lost my, like, Medicare or Medicaid stopped covering my health, like someone to come help me. And I hadn't learned how to do bowel care or anything yet. It was like so new for me. So I moved to South Carolina with my parents, and I was like, dude, I love my mother, but I'm not living here forever now. Okay. So I was like, I gotta find me, you know. So I went on eHarmony and was like, look, all right, I'm looking for a husband. And I found I did, like, I went, you know,
great.
It's so awesome. Like, you send questions, and so if you are shy or nervous or not really like an extrovert like I am, like my husband's opposite. He's super introvert and really quiet and doesn't have a lot of confidence. So he's like, dude, it was really easy for me to go on eHarmony and you don't want to talk to each other at first. Like, you do questions, and then you send email, and then we exchanged phone numbers, and we got to really know each other. And by the time we had our first date, because he's in Atlanta, my parents are in South Carolina, so it was like a 2.5-hour drive. So he drove all the way there, took me on a picnic with my dog, and it's the best love story ever. Like, he is, but I also want to clarify to people, he is not my caregiver. Okay, like, he does help, but I help him just as much in life. Okay?
Yes. You should make that clarification, because a lot of people can be annoying and ask questions like that, can't they? Yeah.
And I'm like, no, my husband would die of starvation without me. Our kitchen would never be clean. You do stuff too, man. We have to live.
Damn right. Don't think because you're sitting down, you're not doing anything, right?
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Come on now. You got working arms and hands, so you can do a lot. So,
100%.
okay, you know, your husband was obviously super cool with you being in a wheelchair. When he first found out you were in a wheelchair on your dating profile, did you put it in your profile, or how did you let him know?
Yeah, like, I definitely let everybody. I was just like, look, this is who I am. I'm a paraplegic. You know, I got in a car accident when I was 21, and Justin was always accepting. He's like, this, like, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you are phenomenal. He's learned a lot, but man, his friends and family were like, she's in a wheelchair. Justin, what are you doing? Like, no, do you know what you're like? You know how hard this is going to be? And Justin's like, dude, this is the coolest girl ever. If I look over that because of a wheelchair, then I'm going to be happy for the rest of my life, because she's the one, you know? And I'm like, I'm just really glad that he fought for me.
I love that.
Fight.
How did it happen? How do his parents treat you now? Are they cool with you being around?
They are. Man, I've been with Justin for 10 years now, and his mom, at one point, because he lived with his mom for like 30 years, okay, and we met when he was 30. He was still living with his mom. Like, you got to get out of your house now. But whenever he was living with his mom, like, or when we moved out together in 2012, and then his mom was like, he bought a ring and was like, I'm going to ask her to marry me. And she told me to my face, you guys, like, she told me to my face, how dare you put your disability on my son? A wheelchair doesn't deserve to be loved.
And
my God. She's been on disability since 1990 and walking around like, I'm just,
this woman. She said a woman in a wheelchair doesn't deserve to be loved, is what she told you.
And so I was like, Justin, you're gonna have to make a choice, because like your mom's not gonna let you just like go off and get married. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's been a fight. It's better now because we had to sever stuff for like a couple of years. And I think she finally figured out, oh, I'm going to lose my son. Yeah, you are. So things are better now, but it's just, I don't understand like what you know,
I
like
get it.
we're
That's terrible.
so, man, I'm telling, like, I don't think that our house would even look the way it does at all if I wasn't here helping. You know what I mean? Like I'm
Yeah.
just as valuable as her son is, and that's what I don't understand. Yeah, it was very, very hurtful, and
Oh, that makes me so mad because I've had some parents of boyfriends of my past say some things like that, but never anything so rudely. I mean, once he proposed to you, she should have just kept her mouth shut. Like, you know what I mean?
oh
Inside
yeah,
voice, lady. What a bitch. I can't believe she had the audacity to even tell you that to your face.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah. For me, that's why I'm just like, your mother will always be at like arm's length. Okay, she can stay over there forever.
well, you're a beautiful woman, and I'm sure your husband, you've been together for 10 years. So whatever, lady. So, okay, forget about her. I want to move on to something happier now. Let's talk about the fact, I know you're all trying for a baby, aren't you?
We are, man. I'm so like, and everybody seems to be pregnant right now, and I'm like, oh my god, no! Like, and every time I start, I'm like, oh my gosh, man. Like, so
How
yeah,
long are you been trying for a while, or what's going on?
well, it is what, August. We started at the beginning of the year, so I mean, it's been like, I don't know, 7 or 8 months. So I'm talking to other paraplegics too, about like, was it difficult? And I know it's been difficult for them too. It took
Oh, really?
probably like a good year before they even got pregnant. So
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure if it is like, it shouldn't make a difference whether we're paralyzed or not. You know what I mean?
Absolutely no, it does not. A woman's fertility after a spinal cord injury, it's not even all. It should not be affected at all by your spinal cord injury. So
Okay, good. Yeah,
no.
I'm more afraid, like, once we do get pregnant, like, oh man, like, because yeah, my spinal cord injury is T4, and I use my chair, so like I feel, because my right arm is partially paralyzed, so I just
Oh,
feel like I'm so unstable. I'm like, dude, if I want my baby to have tummy time, how do people pick? I wish that we had like a class, like a Zoom class of like
yeah.
parents, babies, and toddlers. Yeah, so I
Oh,
can,
yeah.
like, I want to know how they pick up their babies and how they bathe them and how they, like, I can't access so much. Like, the tub is like so far away to reach
Yes.
up, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I drop them? Or, there's so much about starting a family, but like, and then I see so many people that do, and
Yep.
they're rocking it, man. They're freaking rocking it, and they
Yeah,
have
they
multiple
are.
kids. And so
Yeah.
I'm just like, I feel hopeful and I'm excited, but I'm
You're
getting
gonna
old.
have
I'll be 35 this year. My husband just turned 40, and so we're like, babies.
well, I'll say a prayer for you guys. I really hope you guys get pregnant soon. I know that if you're on the pill for a while and if you went off of that, that can be a little bit weird too with getting your body back on the normal schedule of things. But yeah, lots of women with paralysis have had many babies, as you were just saying. And also, there's a Facebook group for when you do get your baby. That's great. They have lots of like parenting, spinal cord injury kind of groups that you can share information on, private groups. So maybe I'll send you a link if you don't know about them. So, but I like your idea of a Zoom kind of meeting with other moms. That sounds really cool. I bet that exists somewhere, right?
It's got to. And I want something like that for my husband too, because I think he kind of feels all alone. He doesn't know anybody else that's a husband to someone like, in a chair. So
No,
I think
yeah,
he also, I'm like, dude, I know Shepherd Center's got to have support groups for you too.
they do. They
Um,
do. They do. You guys should meet some couples through the Shepherd Center where he can talk to another guy that's like able-bodied, that's got a wife in a chair, because I think that is helpful. I wish I had that in my life too. My man's able-bodied, and we don't have that around here in Minnesota, a Shepherd Center like you guys do.
I know, and this, all the ones that I meet, they're all, everybody's single. I never meet couples. Like, it's so hard, it seems, to meet couples unless you go to like an event.
Man, well, I wish I was by you because we would go on a double date with you in a second.
That would be so rad, dude. Like, yeah,
All right.
we're bowlers, and yeah, hey,
bowlers. I love to bowl. I can totally bowl. I use the bowling ramp though because I can't use my hands that great.
yeah, I love to bowl, dogs. Yeah, like, yeah, we love to get out.
So I know that you lost like 40 pounds, right?
Did.
What in the heck? So this is really exciting for, I think, to hear about because it's so hard to lose weight in a wheelchair. So if you could just share with us how you did it, because it's a struggle losing weight when you can't walk.
I mean, it is such a struggle. I actually got a stinking pressure sore while I was in the hospital. I had a UTI, and it became septic. And so I was in the hospital and I was out of it. And so they didn't turn me, and I got a freaking pressure sore. It took me 2 years to get this sewed up and better. But last year I got MRSA and was in the hospital. That helped with my weight loss. I'd lost probably like 10 pounds while I was in there. And so then once I got out, I was just like, I already feel better like having this off. And so my husband and I were just like, all right, we just got to bust and grind on this. And then the beginning of the year, like, do you know Jessie Strawham? Is that her name?
Yes, she's amazing. The paraplegic lady from Florida, and she's working out all the time.
Yeah, and she's got the Will With Me Foundation, and she does like little like weekly things sometimes. And so I went on that, and I met a whole bunch of girls in like T4 paraplegics. One, Sarah Foley, she is a like fitness instructor, and she's T4 paraplegic. And so I was like, all right, well, this is great. I can work out with people just like me that know how hard it is to like, posture and to and balance, and the difficulty of not being able to like get exercise as a paraplegic, other than your arms.
Yes.
And so between those girls and all the different exercises they've shared, I've been able to find equipment that is affordable that I can use at home. Like I got these Trump ropes that from like that are like for paraplegics, and they've got weights on it, and it's I've got ways of doing cardio now because I've got other girls through disability icons being able to be like, hey, well, this is what I do, that like this helped me, and I didn't need anything but my wheelchair and these dumbbells. I was able to feel like I was running 50 miles an hour. So I'm like, wow, like it's definitely got me moving more. It's gotten me more active, but it's also got me more health conscious. So I'm like, all right, you've lost 40 now. Like, man, you're only like 30 or 40 to your, this quad belly. This is what I'm before. You know how many people ask me when I'm having my baby?
Oh no,
everywhere I go, I'm like, no, this is I have to educate people though. So it does give me an opportunity to be like, I have a spinal cord injury, and unfortunately after all this time, you get a big fat quad belly and things atrophy, and it's difficult, but I'm working on it. Now I'm guaranteed to get this bad boy off now.
Yes, you can get that off, because I have seen before and afters of people who are paralyzed. I'm sure you have too, and they can burn off that belly fat. They may have to like eat really low calorie for a while.
I'm sorry.
I was reading you did something with Plaxo. Is that something you want to talk about?
Yeah, like I did, like I'm starting off Plexus. That's why I haven't like advertised it, because I'm like, I want to make sure it works for me before I tell anybody else that it's worth it, But so far it's good. Like they've got great. I am not a protein shake drinker. I'm like, when I was in the hospital, they're like, here's Ensures, drink. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's horrible. But these protein shakes, like I'm a huge chocolate lover, and they're just really smooth. It's like drinking chocolate milk, or I put it in a blender with some ice and a banana, and make like a chocolate banana smoothie with it. So it's delicious. I'm able to just grab it on the go, and it suffices my hunger. I usually only eat like one meal a day, and then I have snacks and stuff, and then I drink my protein shakes because it gives me all my vitamins and nutrients and stuff. So that's definitely helped. I mean, since I've been on that, only like 3 months, I've lost 15 pounds. So I'm
girl.
Yeah, I gotta drink water though. That's my problem. I like sweet tea too much being here in Georgia now.
The sweet tea thing down there. Oh my gosh. So before I let you go, do you mind showing us your dogs? Are they in the room? Can we see your animals? Okay.
Baylor.
Because I always like to talk about fur babies, if at all possible.
Yes. Oh my gosh, my dogs are the greatest thing ever. Let me see if this will let me flip my camera. And it's really weird. Like you'll see Baylor. Oh, they're now they're going hide. Usually they're like, yep.
Doggies. Doggies. What kind of dogs do you have?
I have 2 black labs and a Siberian Husky.
Oh my God, you got some big ones. I love big dogs.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Oh, there they are. Look at your Siberian Husky. He's gorgeous.
He didn't listen to me at all. He's like, oh, okay, mommy.
Oh, they're like, okay, mama wants me. They're excited. They think hi, guys.
Baylor, Daphne, Dakota. Daphne's always going to be like, let me come up here now.
I love black labs. Black Labs and Huskies are some of my favorite breeds. You got some good dogs there. Oh, thank you for showing them.
And Baylor house and everything. So
I love it. Thank you so much, Beth. Okay, so before I let you go, where can people follow you if they want to follow you online?
Oh, well, I'm on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube under my name, Beth Beckley, or Willing with Me, Beth B. So I would love you guys to follow my journey and see my crazy dogs and my wonderful husband and how we get through it all. So
yeah, and I can't wait to hear more about you when you get pregnant. We're going to have you back on.
Yes. Yeah, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you later.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Bye. See you later.
Bye.